Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Oh, guys, I am home. It literally took us 48 hours to do what we did. I'm still like, it is incredible. We left Tuesday night at 11:30, and we got home around 11 to 11:30, 48 hours later. I mean, 9 hours on the bus one way, 5 minutes in a taxi, an hour in a government building, an hour in the taxi, and then we just literally laid in bed the whole time, exhausted. We didn't go anywhere. We did not do 1 second of sightseeing. And we had breakfast at the hostel when we got there at 10:30 in the morning. We went up to our room, and about 6 o'clock in the evening, my son went out across the street, bought us food. We ate in bed. We didn't even want to. There were tables downstairs. We could have interacted with people. We just ate in our rooms. In our room, we had a private room this time instead of a dorm, and that's all we did, just ate. And then the food was horrible. We didn't care. We just ate it. And then we went back to sleep. And that was it. I did my show. We went back to sleep. Woke up at 9 in the morning, went downstairs and ate breakfast. And another hour-long taxi followed by a 9-hour bus ride. That was all we did. We went to Kedem. That's all we frickin' did. The sunset was beautiful. We saw the sunrise while on the bus. We saw the sunset while on the bus. The sunset was absolutely gorgeous. This is a beautiful country. I mean, the more I know about this country, the more I'm happy to be here. Just beauty-wise, oh my God, the volcanoes, the crazy mountains, the green is greener than any green I've ever seen. This country is amazing, guys. If you ever get a vacation, have a vacation time, Ecuador is worth it, man. It's worth it. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. It's like 1:30 in the morning here in Ecuador. Not quite midnight in California, so I wanted to tell you guys Happy Independence Day. If you're in the United States, Happy 4th of July. I hope you didn't watch the Trump, America parade. He sure is making America gag again. Anyway, miss the Obamas, and happy birthday to Malia Obama. It's her birthday today. What a cool birthday to have. A symbol of freedom today, at least for the United States. Also, I missed it. I can't believe a couple days ago was Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to my Canadian listeners and my Canadian friends. Oh God. And today's also, my friend just saw Bob Dylan, my friend from Italy. I don't even know where he is. He went to this massive festival and he had pictures of all these people on stage, and Bob Dylan was there. I could not believe my friend is seeing Bob Dylan right now. Can't believe Bob Dylan's out playing still. I'm glad about that. Oh, man. It's been a rough day. I had my other phone was charged up for the most part all day long. I had about 40-50% left, and I was thinking hard about something, and my phone shut off. I decided I better charge it. But I can't read to you guys the Course in Miracles lesson or the Schumann Resonance, and I haven't even looked at it yet. I was really sleepy all day. I mean, it might have been the bus, the fact that, I did watch an Ashton Kutcher movie in Spanish. That was interesting. The one where they're going on their honeymoon and they're all in love, and then everything goes wrong, and the movie starts off when they're breaking up with each other in the airport. And then it goes back in time, so you see what happened. Oh, it's one of my favorite movies with Brittany Murphy. God rest her soul. She died not too long after that movie was made. I don't remember what happened. I think she had like a liver or a kidney problem. Anyway, she seemed like she's such a sweet person. So, all right. Well, while on the bus last night, or 2 nights ago, I opened my eyes right at 3:33 a.m., so in time to see on the clock in the bus, 3:33, and went back to sleep and woke up at 4:44. Lots of 33s and 44s today, so those are the ascension numbers I've gotten. Our bus was bus number 13, the bus of death. But I mean, this bus was luxurious. Oh, it was so comfortable. Usually I would be crippled by the time I get out of a bus. On the way up there, it was just horrible. In fact, on the way back last week was really bad. That bus was not comfortable at all. And the one on the way up there was a little comfortable, but not, I don't know. It wasn't now that. They played movies, and it was like one action-packed, misogynistic, violent crap after another. It was horrible. But today on the bus, the movie was, a romantic story and a comedy. I love comedy. And then, with Ashton Kutcher, of course, he's so adorable. And then the other movie after that made no sense. It was Robin Hood, and it was in Spanish when you could hear it, but they kept the volume turned down, so you have to kind of guess what the hell's going on. I don't know why Robin Hood was in Saudi Arabia, or why this guy supposedly in charge was wearing a futuristic suit, but then I don't know what the hell was going on. That was one of the most insane movies I've maybe ever seen. It was just, I think, supposedly a love story, but then there's just a lot of sand and buildings the color of sand, and then fighting and arrows, and I was bored after 5 minutes. I was like, dude. I was so excited. I thought, well, I had downloaded some books onto my phone, so I'm going to read. I have Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which I've already read, but I love that. I love Hunter S. Thompson. And I read The Great Shark Hunt. I don't think I finished The Great Shark Hunt. So I was going to read it, and for whatever reason, I couldn't open that on my phone. And so I was just so bummed. And I don't want to play games. And most of my games, you have to be connected to the internet. And even though the luxury bus is supposed to have internet, it never works, and I don't know why. So we just kind of, But this bus was so nice, though. I mean, it had hardwood floors. When the sun went down, these blue lights that are like the blue lights that I have on the back of my headboard on my bed. I have these like amazing ice blue lights. They're so beautiful. That was the color of inside the bus, was this blue, the same blue. And it was nice. I mean, the seats were really comfortable, unbelievably comfortable. But they all have like the high seat, and it's like it pushes on your head, and it's like nobody in South America is 7 feet tall, so why are the bus seats that freaking tall? It's supposed to be like to cradle your neck and give you a nice rest, but only if your spine is like a foot taller. And even though I'm only 5'1", I have an average size spine. 75, I think, to 80% of the people in the world have the exact same spine. Did you guys know that? I mean, it's like really insane, right? Like, what makes us taller or shorter is how long our legs are. It's like so freaky. And then some people have a shorter spine or taller spine, depending. But most of us have the same size spine. Isn't that completely crazy? Anyway, it's such a weird thing to bring up, but speaking of the death card, the death card has a skeleton on it. Yeah, and I kept seeing graffiti with skeletons, and I kept seeing the number 13 a lot. And that's related to the death card, which is transformation. And yeah, speaking of death, next week is Mercury retrograde. Actually, in the next couple days is Mercury retrograde, and I have to go in to get my my temporary residency. But she said, I'll let you know in 5 days when you have to come in. And I'm like, oh my God. So I've got to like scan my email, look through my spam folder, just like last time. I looked and it didn't, there was nothing. And then all of a sudden, when I had like 5 days left, it had been sent to me 5 days before. That's why we had to do all the buses. Because if you get a last minute flight, it's like $60-$70 each one way. And if I had known in a week in advance, this is the $30 week, you know? I'm like, man, I could get round trip airplane tickets for us, you know, like $60 round trip instead of each. And that those are the cheap prices, and then it goes up to like $120 for most of the flights. That's if you take the red eye, but I don't mind staying up late. You guys know me. Anyway, yeah, so that was just our thing. But the number 13 came up a bunch. So Mercury retrograde has already caused havoc. We're in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. There's about a week before and a week after in which you're still affected by it. I should have known. You're never supposed to travel during Mercury retrograde, and I traveled last week. I traveled just now. Oh God, it felt so good to come home and put on pajamas. Oh, I feel so good not having to wear jeans. I'm just pajamas. Yes. I don't know what happened to old-fashioned broom skirts. There's no, like, broom skirts here in this country. I used to have a collection. I used to have, like, 10 broom skirts. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The skirts that go all the way down to your ankles. So they're very, you could just wear them with, like, kind of a sexy, like, tank top, just to go to the beach. Or you could actually wear, with a sweater or something nice and go to the office. They're so versatile. And they're also like kind of fun and flirty, but at the same time very conservative. And I kind of tend to like to cover my body, so I dress conservative. I don't think conservatively so much, but anyway, I don't like stuff that's so tight, form-fitting. I mean, we're not in Star Trek world yet. I know that's coming though. The temperature regulating bodysuits, we're like probably a few years away from that, but not all of us are going to look good in those kind of clothes. So I don't know. It's kind of irritating. Maybe our bodies would be perfect by the time we get those. That might be what the future holds for us all. I hope to God this is true. I keep hearing predictions like this. And even my higher guidance has said, oh, you're going to be maybe, thinner, taller, crystalline form, everything's going to run perfect, you'll be fine. But soon. So yeah, Mercury retrograde. Yeah, this is the time in which don't make major travel plans. Don't get married at this time because in a few weeks it's going to be over. If you start a new job, it'll be over in 3 weeks. If you only want a temporary job, go ahead and start a job now. It's a great time. If you know in 3 weeks, you're just going to be like, it's going to be over. It already, I think what it was, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and I don't know who else. It wasn't Twitter, but probably another one I don't use. Was it Spotify maybe? Anyway, 3 or 4 major websites were just completely knocked out. You know, Mercury retrograde is a period in which we are going to be having issues with computers, issues with communication, either over the phone or over the internet or with each other in the same room. Not be able to communicate. As I'm like, what was that word again? Also, but travel, everything about traveling, anything. If you're getting ready to start a brand new project, don't start it during Mercury retrograde. However, this is a fantastic time to finish all loose ends. Finish everything up, all your old projects. I mean, I'm looking at my desk that I started painting. I need to finish writing all the quotes because I'm a writer. I'm having a desk full of quotes. It's my art. And I have a lot of neat quotes that I painted on there, but I've got to finish my quotes. And then I'm going to spray paint lacquer over it so that the quotes will never go away and the desk will be shiny and I can wash it off with a wet cloth. But I love doing my art. I just love painting. I mean, I might even have a little business here someday doing this. But I've got 3 pieces of furniture I'm working on, and I've got to paint my son's desk and stuff. So things like that, like, stuff you have laying around the house, like, I meant to fix a garage door. This is the time to do it. If you've meant to be doing something and you haven't quite done it, now's the time to do it. I should tell my oldest kid he's been trying to get his passport because his was stolen. I don't think he's been able, because he has to prove himself. If you don't have an ID, how do you prove who you are? You see how stupid this is. So you lose your ID, you're just screwed. I mean, prove you exist. Well, here's my birth certificate. Well, prove it's your birth certificate. Show me your ID. Anyway, let me see if I could get my other phone going. Oh, by the way, guys, we're 97 on the Ascension Symptoms Scale. Some people are having extremely energetic times, and some people are kind of a little bit more lethargic and down. Just remember to keep up your water and your electrolytes, because your nervous system at this time might be still at the tail end part of being upgraded. Your immune system should be upgraded by now. And if you are sick, there's a lot of stuff going on with the Ascension thing. So, oh man, I feel really relieved to be home, to be honest. I didn't think I'd feel like this. And I thought I'd be exhausted. I'm not exhausted. I am tired, but I'm not, I don't need to sleep. I slept a lot on the bus. What woke me up is my jaw would fall open. And that woke me up every time. And I started laughing about it. I'm like, I need to sleep in a position where I'm purposely, I have to sleep with my chin on my hand so my jaw doesn't fall open, because it was waking me up. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? This is embarrassing. It's so ridiculous. When I was in 8th grade, I went on a trip with all my classmates, and everyone fell asleep on the bus. And I went around taking pictures of everybody asleep. I had a whole album of my sleeping classmates. It was so, now I look back on it, really weird and creepy. But I just thought that people are so adorable when they sleep, and they're so like angelic, and also everyone had their mouth open. It was just freaking hilarious. I don't know, man. I miss it. You know, I lost that album too, but I don't even know any of these people anymore. Okay, let me see here. I want to read to you guys the Schumann Resonance. I cannot wait. I only have 16% charge. How did I go from like, it was like 56 or something down to 16? We're down to 0 now. We've been plugged in for a half hour. That's why I'm late. The stupid phone just died out of nowhere. My higher guidance told me that tonight I will be channeling for you guys an ET, but I don't know which one. I'm still waiting for someone to come through. I don't know. Yeah, it's not Ashtar Command. It's not Michael. I don't know who's going to come through. It's so weird. I keep thinking that it's the Sandia ETs, the ones that are being kept in captivity in Area 51, which I think I will start maybe telepathing with them first before I just automatically telepath and channel them directly to you guys. When I channel ETs, I don't channel dead ETs. I channel ETs that are alive. When I say ET, I mean extraterrestrial, off-worlders, or space brothers. I don't channel ETs that have passed on. I do channel some people that have passed on, but not very many. Yeah, so this is so surprising. Like, all right, this is like nothing. I'm looking at this going, all right. So, wasn't it yesterday? It was like at 50? I'm looking. Okay, so... Yeah, yesterday we had 50 hertz was the Schumann resonance, but today, the evening report, 1700 UTC, calm, only peak has been at 15 hertz at 6 UTC. Well, that's nothing. Oh my God, I waited a whole phone charge for that. It's not even a whole phone charge. 30 minutes later for 16%. I don't know. All right. But it's time to do A Course in Miracles. Now, remember when I was saying yesterday that I managed to get through the whole day? Yeah, you can tell I'm back home because of the motorcycles. I found out today, my son told me that Cuenca, Ecuador, has a motocross team that are world famous, and we have been number one in the world for 4 years in motocross. Did you guys even know that motocross had an international thing? I had no idea. But how cool is that? I live in the city with the number one motocross team in the world. That's so awesome. All right. So, yeah, usually this kind of a trip, like a quick trip where we're not having a lot of fun, where we're just kind of, and we're not even going out to eat. We're not even finding good weed. We're not even nothing. I didn't even have one drink of alcohol. I popped my last whiskey candy right before I got on the bus 48 hours ago. That was the only alcohol I've had though in 2 days. And I haven't smoked weed. I haven't done nothing. I've just been super, super focused on getting my paperwork done. And when my son was taking a little bit extra time before he got on the bus to leave, I just sat down and wrote 12 ways in which I could promote my show. That was it. Show promotion. That's like my mind has been on work and taking care of business. I've been very, very focused, which normally is not like me either during a Mercury retrograde period. All right, let's see here. So, all right. So, the lesson today might relate to you, and it does not relate to me at all, thank God. Something happened, I don't know what, a couple days ago. I think the solar eclipse. It took with it all of the things that normally would set me off or make me angry. I did not get angry once in the past I don't know, 3 days. Not since the solar eclipse happened. I've been calm and happy. I mean, I'm a redhead. I normally am short-tempered when I'm like rushing and have to get things done. And even when I was getting stuff done, I was talking to people. I was kind of, I don't know, just doing witty banter randomly. Some Venezuelan guy was like saying arepa's arepas. You know, like arepa is a kind of a really good, it's almost like a calzone from Venezuela, okay? Excellent kind of food. I love Venezuelan food. And this is one way that the Venezuelans have been making money. I mean, we're talking people with like freaking PhDs, college degrees. They had excellent jobs just like 4 or 5 years ago. Now they're selling arepas outside of government buildings and on street corners. I mean, I just always, pray for Venezuela, always. But this guy was Venezuelan men are usually very good looking. And he was just so handsome, and I just had to flirt with him. And he's like, oh, arepas. And he has nothing with him. He's just a guy standing there. He's got a hat on and a sweatshirt because it's kind of cold and first thing in the morning. And I'm like, where's your arepas? Is it under your hat? Is it under your sweatshirt? Where's your arepas? You don't have arepas. And he was like, I do. They're over there. I'm all, and he's like laughing so hard. Cause then he realized how dumb, this lady that he's working with, probably his mom, she was at the far end of the complex. So you couldn't even really see her. It was like so far. And if you say you want a arepa, he would run as fast as he could to get it, and it was just like so ridiculous. I was like, ugh. It was so fun. And then when I came out of the government building, he was all laughing and waving to me. I wish I would have had the time to get an arepa from him, though, actually. But I wasn't even hungry at that moment. Oh, all right. I'm still trying to get this lesson to load. All of a sudden, I'm getting this temperature thing going. Okay, here we go. Oh, and then it just... There we go. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. This is lesson 26. I'm going to read a teeny tiny bit of the lesson so it makes a little bit more sense. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. You know why? Because you're actually invulnerable. So the idea for today, the first thing he says is, first name the situation. So I am concerned about blank. And then you say, I am afraid blank will happen. And then you have to, and after you've named every outcome that you're afraid of, you say, well, that thought is an attack upon myself. So I don't know if I even have one of these anymore. I am pretty certain I'm going to get my visa. That would be like the only thing I'm worried about right now. So, okay. Maybe like if I say, I am concerned about my podcast not making very much money. I am afraid that I won't have enough money for day-to-day expenses and that will happen. And I'm afraid of being homeless. I'm afraid of being deported back to the United States because I don't have money coming in 2 years from now. So I'm afraid of the future, of not having a good future. That will happen. But that thought is an attack upon myself. So that's like pretty much how you do that lesson. Even though I don't really think of these things anymore, I'm making $1.50 a day now. Woohoo! I'm getting more and more listeners, and I actually have a very positive attitude about it. I feel really good, and I think that things are working. Just everything is working, and I feel great. And since the solar eclipse, I've had a really positive attitude and really good energy, in spite of the fact of being cooped up in a bus for 8 hours 9 hours one way and 9 hours another way. And literally my son and I, 21 hours we had out of 48 on buses or in taxis. So, all right. So I don't even know who I'm going to be channeling. Actually, I'm going to come right back. And it's going to be a surprise to me as much as to you. So we'll see when I come right back after this message. Remember just to let it play out, and then, I don't know, just go get a cup of coffee or your popcorn or eat a banana. I don't know what you guys do. But whatever it is, grab something healthy and I'll be right back. If you're listening to this, you obviously like podcasts, and you probably like music too. Long walks on the beach, romantic dancing under the stars, and oh wait, we're not doing that right now. On Spotify, you can listen to all of that in one place for free, and you don't even need a premium account, which is cool. Free is always good. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcasts so you never miss an episode. Download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are, including your long romantic walks on the beach. Also, one thing I love about Spotify is that you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends via Spotify's integrations with the social platforms like Instagram. So that makes it really, really versatile. Just search for Metaphysical Soul Speak on the Spotify app or browse podcasts in the Your Library tab. And follow me, of course, don't forget, so that you'll never again miss an episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak. Spotify is the world's leading music streaming service, and now it can be your go-to for podcasts too. Thank you guys so much for supporting Metaphysical Soul Speak on Spotify. All right, guys. So while I was on my way home from Quito, on my way home to Cuenca, we saw a lot of cows and rolling hills and pastures and a lot of farms, and everything was so lush and filled with life and so green. And my son and I saw this family, this man and woman. They were in a field with their animals, and the man was petting his cow, and the woman was sitting with an animal that I thought was a dog, like a white dog. And then my son said, "No, Mom, that was a sheep." And he goes, "Oh, Hal, maybe you're right. Maybe it's a sheepdog." But it was so incredibly beautiful. Like the scene in and of itself, these were native people that were wearing their traditional native dress. And the women here, the way that they're a lot of the tribes are, their native dress, they look like they're going to church on Sunday. Like, what I mean by that is a lot of the women will wear like a really nice lacy shirt, very high collar and long sleeves. And then their skirts are pleated skirts, and a lot of times they're like bright red velvet. And then they wear nylons and high heels. Usually, but they're low high heels, they're like 2 or 3 inch high heels. And then they wear sometimes a scarf around their neck if it's cold, just like everyone in the world. But then they have these hats, and these hats are so stylish. They're not always the Panama hats. Sometimes they have these black felt hats. They're just so nice looking, but just from day-to-day business, just normal, going about there every day. The way the Native women dress here, it's so, they always look so nice, but they look like they're getting ready to go to church on Sunday. It's like my impression of it. And then sometimes the hats will have like a pheasant feather in it or something, but they look like man's hats, but women wear them. Men and women wear them. Anyway, it's just, I love that there's so many languages here. On the way to Quito a couple nights ago, I heard 3 people speaking in what I think is Quechua, but I wasn't sure, or Quiche. No, I think it's Quechua, but I'm not really sure what language it was. I just knew it wasn't Spanish, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And it just made me realize in the past 24 to 48 hours that I kind of want to get to know a lot more about Ecuador. I want to travel to different little towns and different places, and over the next couple years, I want to really make a cultural study, at least for myself. I'll let you guys know what I find out, but every culture is different. And you have different customs and different myths, different legends, different ideas about the world around them. And people here seem to be very open to spirituality and other dimensions, other worlds. A lot of shamans here. Paranormal. According to Paul Butler, he did say a couple weeks ago that this is the paranormal hotspot of South America, is here in Ecuador. I'm in the right place if this is true. So, there was a freak hailstorm in Mexico. I didn't bring that up in the introduction. And I don't mean just normal hail for a few minutes. It hailed so much overnight in Guadalajara, which is known for being an extremely hot place. It hailed so much, you guys, 5 feet of hail. People had to dig their cars out of the hail as if it was like snow. So, not one injury, not one death, thank you God. The freaky weather, right? I don't know if I have enough to do Freaky Friday. I'll mention it again tomorrow. See what updates there are on the freak hailstorm. But if I have enough information for Freaky Friday, we'll do that. Otherwise, we'll wait. See if we have enough for Weird News Wednesday next week or Freaky Friday next week. I don't know. I love doing those shows. They're some of my favorite shows in the world to do. And I'm like waiting for weird shit to happen, basically. So anyway, I'm gonna get to the channeling. I'm already connected to my space brethren, the Arcturian Council of 9. I think I might originally come from Arcturus. I feel very close to these 9th dimensional beings. If you've ever seen a picture of them, you'll know what they look like, but if you have never seen a drawing of an Arcturian, usually they are depicted as tall and thin and blue, and their heads are shaped a little bit like the typical gray aliens that you see. It's kind of that similar shape head. And their eyes are, I think, also blue. And they wear a crystal on their heads, or protruding, it's like a necklace, but just for their head. And the crystal is in front of their third eye. And that helps them to communicate telepathically and helps them with keeping their vibration raised. They are 9th dimensional beings. And I would say, you guys, about 7 feet tall. They're saying, yeah, they're about 7 feet tall. So, typically. So, I mean, I haven't been an Arcturus in a long time. Probably why I'm only 5 feet tall. Although my skin does look blue sometimes. And I have actually, when I was a kid, I used to put crystals. I used to put like crystal necklaces on my head and have the crystal dangle over my third eye, just because I thought it looked cool, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I think I might have a connection to them. All right, guys, are we connected? All right, I'm going to take a couple deep breaths, and then they're going to channel through me their message. But I'm going to do so telepathy. I am not a direct channel. I'm an indirect channel. So here we go. Okay. You guys with me? All right. Go ahead and just tell me whatever, and I will go ahead and channel or telepath and channel what you tell me. Greetings to the people of Earth. We are the Arcturian Council of 9. You have heard of us through other sources, possibly other channels. There have been articles and blogs written about us, as well as people channeling us in various places on your internet. We are pleased to see how much progress has been made in the realms of your ascension. You have done a lot of work. We want to acknowledge and recognize you for the work that you have done. We know it has not been easy. In our world, we did not have to go through this. But the fact that not only are you going through this, but that you chose to come here at this momentous time in galactic history, not just Earth history, but galactic history. The fact that you have chosen to come here in this time to live through this, go through this, and choose consciously to raise a vibration of yourselves and the planet must be commended and recognized. You deserve, at minimum, a gold star or a gold medal. But as they say, your rewards will be given to you in heaven, and heaven indeed is where you are headed. We see that this world you find yourselves living on, this dimension you find yourselves living in, everything is changing rapidly. Disclosure is upon you. Disclosure in the form of all of the ETs, the space brothers, space brethren, as Sister Elena has put it. Well, all of us, we're going to start appearing more often in your world. We want it to be known out loud and proud, as they say. We want it to be known that we are here. We are here for you. We are the Arcturian Council of 9. But when we speak in this way, we also speak for all of our space brothers and our greater galactic family, people that come from beings that come from other planets, other races that are beyond the scope and time frame and dimension of our world. We have seen that you are being helped by Syrians, Lyrans, Pleiadians, and a whole host of other beings, Sasquatch, interdimensional beings that have come to pay you a visit at this time and lend a helping hand or a helping vibration to raise your world. So we want to, at this moment, raise your attention to the fact that these other beings do, in fact, exist. We are not a legend or a myth. We are not part of your mythos. We are real beings. We really are here. We are really concerned for your well-being and safety. We love you. We consider you as our younger siblings. We feel cautious of you in a way that we would want to take care of you. We feel those kinds of tender emotions towards you. So we are not to be feared. We really, truly, genuinely love you. We wish for you to be open-minded, watch your skies often, try to telepathically communicate with us when your abilities in this way come online. It's happening. It's happening. You might not be aware of it. Maybe you have telepathy right now and you are not aware that you can start using it this very second. We want you to try really hard to use this ability. It's going to serve you well. It's going to come in handy. Another earth saying, come in handy. We have so much love for all the beings of your planet, not just the humans, but the animals too, the trees. We see all of the energetic forms in your world, perhaps better than you do because we're in the 9th dimension and we have a greater handle on how worlds are built, how the dimensions are made. We can directly see the fabric of time and space in a way that you can only barely imagine with your current state of affairs going on in your mind and your energetic body and your spiritual body. It's very rare for a human to ever have glimpsed what we see every day as our reality. Usually, psychotropic drugs have been involved, or sometimes when humans have been in a physical and spiritual crisis, such as a bad car accident, or if they hang on the brink of death, sometimes their vibration will spike to a high vibrational level. And when this happens, then they get a higher glimpse, a higher view. And then they go back to their typical vibration. Many times this will spark a great change in a person. They will either become religious, or they'll drop their religion and become spiritual. Or they will go on talk shows and tell the world. Usually they'll write a book. But that's a little funny to us because this is how our world is constantly. We see what we see, and for us it's just no different than you guys, seeing the sky. Just a typical blue sky with white clouds. You might have a conversation about it, but it certainly would not be special enough for you to run out and make a book about it. It wouldn't be enough for you to say, hey, I saw the sky today, so I'm going to change my religion. It was incredible. You should see it. But as common as the sky is to you and the people of your earth, that's as common as glimpsing into the fabric of space and time, seeing behind the curtain, looking into the face of the matrix that you are also fond of speaking of these days. For us, it's just an everyday occurrence. Things are very, very different for us. Being in a higher vibrational world has afforded us many things. Telepathy is just the basic minimum. That's how we speak to each other. We don't normally eat. We don't normally sleep a whole lot. We do spend a great deal of time in meditation. We love to commune with the one will and each other. It's usually what we are doing. If you were to step upon our world and walk into all of the houses, more often than not, you will see that we are meditating. We are always constantly keeping up our own vibrations as well as to raise our world up higher. Spiritual seeking is more often than not in our existence. Meditating, focusing on God, the Prime Creator, everything you can imagine, we do with our meditation. We keep our bodies young. We keep our bodies energized. We don't have the similar body as you because of being in a higher dimension. We do not live in a world of polarity or duality. It is very unlikely or uncommon that any of us has ever experienced what you experience on a daily basis, what you have experienced throughout all of your lifetimes. The idea of light and dark, good and bad, that idea is very hard for us to grasp sometimes. Even though we feel we have a handle on it, we don't have an experiential handle on it. For this too, you should be commendated. You deserve to acknowledge this in yourself. You are all high vibrational beings that chose to live in a lower vibrational world and then raise it up, lift it up. And now you've seen it through. You deserve a medal or a gold star for your part in this. We see the sleeping ones too, don't you worry. We are aware. Even though living and experiencing that polar opposite attraction, when we think about it, we don't know what it feels like. But intellectually, we understand. We know it from a set point in our minds. We understand. We send much light and love and prayers to you many times a day actually. When we see you falling into the polarity traps. And we notice that many of you now are living outside of duality and polarity. Many of you now don't even see that, but that your world has grown much happier, much lighter and brighter, just much more calm. This is a direct result of shaking off the third dimensional reality and rising above duality and no longer having to suffer at the hands of polarity. We love that you are beginning the beginnings. You are at the start of a road never traveled. You are at the start of a beautiful experience when you begin to create your heaven on earth. You will be so amazed. The calmness and the beauty and the people are going to be everywhere around you. You're going to feel a connection and a communication with people that was not available before. And when we say a communication, we don't always mean verbal. We mean many levels and forms of communication will begin to take place, and you're going to understand those around you from their direct experience. They won't have to say a word. It will be automatic. There have been many incidences in which Elena has seen people, and in a flash, she knows all the people in their life and what their experience is, and she feels their feelings from inside their body. This is an ability that will be eventually coming online for all of you. This is beyond being an empath. This is being a fifth dimensional being. You will have a greater knowledge and understanding of people from inside their lives. This will lead to further understanding and deep knowledge and wisdom. Also, this will lead to great levels and heights of compassion and love that you never knew that you could even experience. We are so pleased today to be able to come to you. We are so happy to be a part of your world, and we are so happy that eventually when you raise up higher in vibration, we can lower our vibration just a little, and we will all be able to meet in the middle. We will sup together. We will enjoy conversations, laughter, and dancing, if you so desire. Or we can enjoy each other's company by sitting quietly, meditating together on the one will. When you have large groups of people who meditate and pray and focus on the one will together, you create a powerhouse in your world. And this will raise your vibration and the consciousness of all the people in the planet, not just your own. We see a bright future for you. We see a great time in which your air will be purified. Your fields of flowers and vegetables and fruit will be pure. There will be no more chemicals. There will be no more need to have chemicals. Everything is going to grow very well. There is technology coming that will help you have an abundant harvest each and every time. You won't get root rot. You won't get fungus. You won't have problems with the weather, freezing out or flooding out. or baking out with the energy of the sun being so hot. All the different things that have plagued your planet for centuries is going to reverse itself and turn around in 2 seconds once you have the alien technology that we know and we have seen is coming. You are going to enjoy fresh water, not just from the tap, but from rivers, from the rains. Everything is going to be pure. You're entering a new golden age, a new golden era. Love and happiness will reign supreme. You just simply won't have a reason, a way, a means, or the ability to argue with each other anymore. You will have a greater love, a greater compassion, even for people that were considered your worst enemy. That will be gone. Everything will just be the way it is meant to be. We see that the vessel we are speaking through is getting tired. We do not wish to tax her system any longer. We wanted to impart the message verbally that you heard, but there are tachyons, packets of light, information in the layers of the fabric of space and time that we have embedded into this message. Each and every time you hear this message, you will get more upgrades, more downloads, a higher vibration in energy. We are speaking to you while at the same time beaming a healing energy to you. We're beaming knowledge to you. We are beaming telepathic abilities to not only communicate with us and each other, but also to the dolphins and the whales and the cetaceans in your world, as well as all the other animals. The cetaceans are very near and dear to our hearts, though. They have a very similar mission as we do here on Earth. Even though technically we are above Earth in our ships, some of you can see us sometimes. Usually we are cloaked, but we're still beaming love and light. We're traveling all over the planet all the time to give you love and light. We are beaming you love and light as well from our planet. We are beaming love and light as well with all the other ET races that are here now to see it through, to see that you will raise up into the 5th dimension. You will anchor yourselves. Disclosure is coming. The weather changes that have been negative and for the worse are going to be changing so that you will have perfect weather soon. All of your crops, everything will come back. Everything will come back, don't worry. All of your crops will continue to grow, but they will be a lot more abundant, a lot more efficient. The technology is coming. We know it's on its way. You will be getting a great deal of technology. We will come back on another day to discuss more of what we know about that. Right now, suffice to say, your world will never be the same again, and it's going to be greater and greater with each passing day. We love you very much. We wish to say an earth phrase now Namaste. We are here for you. We are the Galactic Council. We are in the Galactic Council. We are the Arcturian Council of 9. When we say Galactic Council, we want you to know we work with many other space brothers and space sisters, as your Elena puts it. We have like a form of committees, not a government. Nobody rules over anybody else. We all work together. We want you to know we're all working very hard, tirelessly, around the clock, because we are so excited about watching you birth your new world and your new selves. It's never been done. You guys are unique. And we're so pleased we have the opportunity to be with you today. Again, we are the Arcturian Council of 9, and we are pleased to be able to speak with you today. Go in peace and make sure you do everything in your power to please everyone in your world today. For that will in turn please you. Namaste. Be at peace, dear ones. All right, guys, I went into a very deep trance there, and I felt a lot of codes. This is Elena again. I felt a lot of codes being given. I am very sleepy. I had a lot of energy when I started this, and now I could barely keep my eyes open. I hope that I didn't just stop recording for a minute or two. Hope there's not a lot of dead air. I don't know what happened towards the end. I was in very deep trance. They didn't take over my body, but I mean, it felt almost practically like that. I've always been an indirect channel. But I hope you enjoyed the message. I hope it was a good one. I'll have to listen to it in its entirety tomorrow, because I'm not going to remember the whole thing. I never do when I'm in trance. Anyway, thank you for being my listener. Thank you for being on this journey with me, and for sharing Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast, with all your family and friends and your neighbors who are spiritually inclined. We want to get the word out. We want to share the knowledge of the show so that messages like this can get to as many people as possible. We have already reached a critical mass, guys. We are on the verge of being fully anchored in the 5th dimension very, very quickly. So now, that's all I gotta say about that, because I'm tired. I am falling asleep. And I'm already an hour late getting this out, so I love each and every one of you. Now I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy 5th dimension and the 9th dimension from the Arcturians. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.